Yeah, you're probably going to hate today's episode. I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to talk about the 3 things that you or at least your colleagues are doing right now that's really preventing you from going next level, breaking through that barrier, closing more business, making more money, and I don't know, saving and investing more money. You know who's really not going to like this? Vibe coding bros, people who are trying to make 100% of their business non-QM, or those folks that think if they just spent more time on social media, their business would all of a sudden flourish. For everyone else, tune in, get entertained, learn a few things, and understand that these are 3 real life examples of what gets under our skin, and we see people doing it day in, day out. And if you just slow it down, pause it, or maybe stop doing it altogether, you'll actually be more successful, make more money. You want to know more? Well, check this out. They don't teach this shit in school, but they should. Welcome to the Loan Officer Podcast, hosted by me, Dustin Owen, one of the most influential people in the mortgage industry, along with my friends who've lived it, built it, failed at it, fixed it, and scaled it. This is not a show just for mortgage professionals. This is everything I learned because I became a mortgage loan originator. This is the Loan Officer Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and with me from the TLOP team, I got my right-hand man, Marketing Mike, and our producer extraordinaire. You call her Special K, we call her Karina Mojica. Guess who's back? Back again.
Karina's back.
Yes, I am. I'm talking normally.
Yeah, you're talking normally. God, we have gone so many guests. I feel like the second half of 2026 is going to be like the most guests TLOP has had on in that short period of time since 2020 when we kicked it all
awesome.
Off. Yeah, you know what?
Every one of them, we just aired Ben Como. That was very cool. Very good story. Yep, the come up was real.
The come up is real. Yeah, no, that was a good episode. That was one of, I think we did like 6 when we were at FAMP.
Yep.
No, here's the deal. I had people come up to me at FAMP and I never know how to handle this particular question. And I try to do so with grace and dignity, but I'm not always great at grace and dignity. But it's like, oh, dude, I want to come on the show. And it's like, well, I don't know if people know this. My preference is not to have guests on. It's a lot of freaking work to have a guest on. And if I'm going to have a guest on, then I have to understand, is that guest going to be good? Mm-hmm. Can they carry a conversation? Can they tie down stories? Can they tell a story?
Right.
More importantly, can they be entertaining? And can they deliver a message that I think the audience actually wants to hear that they would resonate with? Mm-hmm. Now, there used to be a time I'd hate to have a guest on and I'd never let my guest talk. I think I'm getting better at that.
Yeah.
Early on, well, you're not a guest, you're a co-host. So sometimes I don't let you talk, but that's just the dynamic of the show.
Yeah.
But in the early days, I'd have a guest on, and honestly, what the audience didn't know is the guest probably wasn't a good storyteller. Mm-hmm. They probably were super nervous. They had a hard time tying down their stories and giving the audience a takeaway that I felt like in order for it to even be like resembling a decent episode, I almost had to take over. Not because I had their experience, because no, they had the experience. It was just I felt like I could tell their story better than they could in a manner that the audience would stay engaged, stay entertained, and actually learn a thing or two. Yeah. So when people come and say, hey, can I be a guest? I first want to say, well, why? Like, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but like, why would someone want to hear from you? Mm-hmm. Like, what have you accomplished? What have you done? What are you the best at? And then do you have the ability to articulate it? Mm-hmm. There's tons of top producers I would love to interview. The problem is we don't make it past the pre-interview because they can't articulate what they did to make their millions of dollars and how other people can replicate behind it. So I always say, look, if you want to be a guest on the show, we record on Tuesdays in Orlando, Florida, or once or 3 times a year, we travel to events like FAMP. Last year, we're at AIM Fuse. This year, we're going to Momentum Builder Live.
MortgageCon.
In Dallas. We were at MortgageCon last year. We're going to be at MortgageCon next year.
Yep.
Yeah. So like we will podcast from those arenas, but I still have to know why you promise me and explain to me how it's not going to suck. Explain to me how people are going to be entertained. Explain to me how People are going to like be grateful that you shared whatever it is that you shared. Or, and I'm totally fine saying this, or like I'm a pretty transparent dude, or it just has to make great business sense for TLOP.
Absolutely.
Like, look, if you're an advertiser dropping $40,000 a year to sponsor our show, why would I not have you on?
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you're a company that is hiring and contracting us to come and coach your loan originators and your producing branch managers, again, why would I not have you on? Now, I still need it to not suck. I still need it to be entertaining. And I still need the audience to be able to walk away saying, oh, I'm glad I tuned in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So today, you and I are making an episode where it's not a guest, but it's you and I really talking about the three things that get under our skin.
Yeah, we're talking shop.
We're talking shop. This is
shop.
actually a real life
That's what we're
conversation
doing.
that Mike and I had right before lunchtime. We're recording this after lunchtime. It is a Tuesday. We are in Orlando, by the way. And he and I are going to just kind of open it up. We put pause on three different conversations specifically to save for the episode.
Yep.
But there's things going on right now with people's content creation on social media that is rubbing your butt cheeks raw.
Right. Me. Yes.
You. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep. And you're teaching it to me and I love it. Like,
Yeah.
I love it because when I see it, my FOMO kicks in. When I see it, my envy kicks in. When you see it, you're like, hack job.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that.
Right.
I love this topic, and anyone who's been tuning in for the past 6 years, you know I loathe this topic, non-QM lending.
Yeah.
There's certain things within the non-QM space that, as much as I love it, as much as I need originators originating it, as much as I love the partnerships I have with some of my non-QM friends, like there's still a balancing act. There's a fine line that we're all walking.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I want to discuss that one.
Yep. I love it.
And then collectively, the vibe coders. I
The
call
vibe
them the
coders.
bro coders,
It's
right?
hilarious.
At
Yeah.
this standpoint, like the bro coders.
Yeah.
And it's, look, two guys, that's our perspective, the world according to us, but we're going to come at you with some real deal, honest, heartfelt truth bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope the right people take it the right way. And,
Yeah.
you know, the wrong people will be offended, but they're the wrong people.
Yeah.
The
But
right
comment and let's
No.
start a conversation.
Let's start a conversation.
Let's start a conversation.
By all means, there's nothing I love more than proving someone wrong.
Yep.
Which means there's nothing I love more when someone goes out of their way to prove me wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I did and said something to you that you were like, F that, hold my beer, watch this, I'm going to prove him wrong. Love it.
Yeah.
Now, I like it better when you try to prove me right, but I can't always be right. And there's plenty of times that I'm wrong. And if you need me to put that chip on your shoulder to get under your skin so that you have the energy and the momentum, the catalyst, the fuel to go dedicate 2, 3, 4 years of your life to get back at me, bro, we both win.
Mm-hmm.
You win because you actually proved your concept. I win because if my job is out there to shape the future of mortgage lending, I just help shape your future, even if I did so with a non-positive motivator.
Absolutely.
All right, real quick before we jump into it, Karina, guess what we have to do?
Pay bills.
Pay bills. Yep, mama needs to get paid. Karina does not work for free.
Nope.
This show does not go on if we don't have a Karina Mojica.
Absolutely.
So therefore, check this out real quick. A word from today's show sponsor. Y'all, something big is happening at Lower Mortgage. And if you're paying attention to this industry, you've probably noticed. In just the last month alone, Lower has added some serious horsepower. We're talking top producers representing over $350 million in volume. These aren't rookies kicking tires. These are heavy hitters who've done their homework and made the move. That should tell you something. On top of that, Lower just acquired Movoto, a top 5 real estate portal with over 150 visitors just last year. Before that, they brought in Neat Labs and now they're launching Lower OS, a next-gen mortgage platform that's cutting loan delivery times down to 10 days. This isn't a company standing still. Lower doubled their volume last year and they're projecting another 40 to 50% growth this year. The best in the business are taking notice and they're voting with their feet. Here's the reality. The companies that are going to win in this market are the ones investing in technology, building real infrastructure, and competing at scale. Lower is doing all of that. They're going head to head with the rockets of the world, and they're built for originators, not against them. If you're a producer who wants to be a part of something that's actually going somewhere, not just surviving, but growing, this is the moment. Lower mortgage, the momentum is real. And we're back. Mike, where do you want to start? It's going to be your show. I'm going to let you drive.
Let's start with social media then. Let's get my feet wet out of the gate.
Okay, when you say social media, are we talking Facebook, we're talking Instagram, we're talking Reels,
Here's
stories,
the thing,
carousels.
Yeah, we're talking everything, right? Like, I'm a fairly opinionated person, okay?
Okay.
The listeners don't quite know that yet, but I know
those that go on the cruise are going to see it.
Yeah, those that go on the cruise, let's have a conversation. So I have strong opinions and usually backed by facts and data, right?
You tell me all the time, numbers don't lie, people do.
That's right. Right. Show me the data, right?
Yep.
That was our big thing. Show me the data. So I see, and not just in this industry, not just LOs, but for the sake of this episode and our conversation, LOs, I see a lot of people spending a lot of time on social media doing the wrong things and not building tangible relationships that are going to feed their pipeline. So what I mean by that, there's going on social media and creating content that will attract engagement. And then there's going on social media and creating content like AI generated graphics that are text heavy, that don't follow the 20% rule and that don't get engagement, right? Those are two sides. And then there's obsessing over your social media content and not following the 80-20 rule and spending your 80 on social media instead of your 20 on something that might not generate any sort of business. So I see LOs falling into this pit where we listen to the Gary Vaynerchuks out there and, right, everybody says create content, get your feet wet, get comfortable being in front of a camera. And they do that and they think that that's going to be their number one channel for driving more sales and business, right? So they spin their wheels for half their day and get zero out of it. Zero engagement, 2 likes, 2 comments. They'll make themselves feel better and they'll decide to press that pretty boost button for $10 a day and they'll attract an audience of fake profiles.
Bots,
essentially, because the algorithm, because you set the goal to attract in more people that will engage with your content or like the profile. These bots do that. So it's not the algorithm's fault that it's going to put you in front of these bots and get more engagement from them.
So?
But
like, you're a big conspiracy theorist. Do you not think that Meta doesn't themselves create these bots and then they're able to charge chumps like me $10 to boost a post?
They might very well.
Because LinkedIn just did this to me. LinkedIn just charged me $160 to boost a post. We're like in the last 11th hour of the cruise. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, you got 16,000 impressions.
Right.
You know what I got? No comments.
Right.
No DMs. No one called me. No one went to my webpage.
Yeah.
So it's like, what was I paying for?
You paid for nothing, and you paid for the attention, right? You paid for the optics, the kind of the optics of going to a profile and you have a lot of engagement on the post, but it's surface level engagement. It's not anything of substance that will bring you tangible dollars in. It might be Marty happens to see the post, sees that you have 100, 200, 300 likes on it, and then decides to engage with you. But that's an extreme edge case. That's a lot of money for Marty to see that one post.
Is Marty a fake guy?
Marty's a fake guy.
Is it a guy or girl?
It's a guy.
Okay. Could be like Pat. Don't know.
Right. It could be like guys' names for girls.
Yes.
Casey,
I get, Pat.
Right. So not in this case, but the problem is, so I just did a post on this on my personal Instagram. You saw it. We just talked about it. The problem, like, I challenge you, the next time you see one of your colleagues that has 14,000, 20,000, 30,000 followers on their account, go to their posts, okay? If they don't have 1% engagement, 1% of their followers, so on a 20,000 liked profile, they have 200 likes on a photo. That's what they should have on average, right? Plus or minus. If they don't have that, they have 20,000 followers, and they don't have 200 likes plus or minus on a photo, and they're in the 20 or 30 range, go ahead and look at the followers. Go back to the followers and browse the profiles. And I promise you, you will see that these profiles are either bots or some sort of generated profile that was designed to follow a lot of accounts and not have a lot of followers in return. So look at the followers versus the following count. You're not getting anywhere by doing that, because the metric that you're after is I'm going to have 20,000 subscribers, so that if somebody comes on, they look at me and they think, hey, he's qualified, right? It qualifies me as an expert in my space.
Is there not a certain strategy to a certain degree? Hey, if I have a YouTube channel, should I put some money behind it to get some subscribers, so at least it shows other people on the outside?
It'll qualify you.
It'll qualify me, as long as nobody actually inspects under the hood.
Yeah.
Because the minute you're like, wait a minute, how does this guy have 10,000 subscribers to his channel, yet when he posts a new video, it gets 17 views?
Right. And that's the issue, is
so
there's no value.
That's a fake 10,000.
It's a fake 10,000. There's no value in it, because now when you post organically, who's your audience? There's no audience built up. The algorithm has no idea what you're after, because there's a bunch of bots engaging with your content. So now you're going to get 2, 3, 4, 5 likes after your boosted post on your organic piece. So even if you're going to pay to play, you're still not getting value out of it. Even if you pay to play, other than views from what may or may not be fake accounts.
Yeah.
Right? So spinning your wheels on social media, being discouraged that your content isn't getting reached, and then seeing that pretty boost button and pressing the boost button and spending money that way, like there's zero value in this, guys. Like,
so what should they be doing? Let's talk about that.
Okay. Couple strategies, right? Number one, if you do want to pay to play, create a convert your account to a business profile.
Okay. As someone who coaches mortgage professionals, I truly dislike business pages for the most part.
I agree.
This
is only if you're going to be paid to play.
They're placeholders, or they're super high level, meaning you're already funding 100 loans a year, or you're one of those outliers is coming from, and they exist. Like there's this group with eMortgage Capital that, they generate all of their leads on Meta, right? They're consumer direct. It's refi heavy. And they do get their leads there. A lot of VA IRRRLs, a lot of FHA streamlines, but those are outliers. We're talking to the masses right now. So when I talk to the masses, I'm like, y'all, I get this question all the time. If I have a Facebook account, should it be personal or business? I'm like, personal, because people do business with people. But go ahead.
Okay.
But
let me go. I know exactly where you're going.
I cut
right?
you off. Yeah.
Business accounts, to your point, organic reach is suppressed. Okay. The platform Meta in particular, like let's focus on Meta today.
Okay.
Because TikTok's a different story, right? We talked to our boy
Luke
and Bill,
Walker.
and TikTok's a different story. So let's talk Meta. So Meta is pay to play when you convert that account to business.
Yep.
But
LinkedIn is too, by the way.
And LinkedIn is too, right?
LinkedIn
Which
is
we know, which we're
100%.
learning very fast.
Yes.
Right? Like the algorithm has changed. The landscape has changed on LinkedIn.
Many people are saying LinkedIn is trash.
It's becoming trash. Let's get to LinkedIn.
Okay.
Honestly, I think there's a small conversation to be had on LinkedIn. So
Which sucks for me, because I have a massive LinkedIn
huge following.
Yes.
I know. So you convert this account to business. By converting it to a business account, you're gonna open a whole tool box, and one of those tools is Ads Manager. So with Ads Manager, you can take a granular approach to your targeting. You might want to hire an agency, right? It's complex. There's a lot of different lead generation strategies or formats that you can set your campaign to. There's a lot of back end work you want to do with lookalike audiences and retargeting, and but content is king in this arena. So creating the right piece of content to build the right audience.
So you're overwhelming me right now.
I know. I'm going too high level.
No, and more importantly, not you're overwhelming me, but my issue is loan officers are tuning in, and some are going to geek out over it. And I'm just thinking, guys, everything that Mike is getting you excited about, no, you hire a Mike to do this. You don't do this.
Right.
Like, your job is to shake hands. Your job is to be out networking and having like referral-based relationship meetings.
And I think that's going to be the moral of the story here.
Is that where we're going?
Yeah,
okay,
we're going to
let me
interject, and I think we should say it multiple times throughout the episode, right? This does not replace grassroots, boots on the ground, door knocking.
I think that's where we're going, but
right.
But I do want to ask you. So I asked you, what should they be doing?
Right, and then there's a second prong to this.
Okay, what's the second prong?
Okay, second prong is quality organic content. Okay, the algorithm does reward and this is don't convert the account to business. Keep it a personal profile.
But did I cut you off on the convert to business?
Yeah, it gets high level. It's complex. It's building the right creative and putting the right budget behind it to build an audience of engagers. In this case, I would try to attract the realtor.
Yeah, but so now you're talking about programmatic marketing.
Yeah,
you're talking about years of your experience and thousands of dollars in ad spend.
And the boost button that everyone out there is pressing to build a pool of followers that aren't your target audience, right? Everybody's pressing the pretty boost button. This is the correct way to do that.
Yeah, but that way takes an expert. That way
Absolutely.
takes someone having 6 months of runway,
right,
and a minimum of $3,000 to $5,000 a month to spend. And my concern is, if you're not already funding 5 loans a month,
don't do it.
Don't do it. And or worse, it's like, even if you are, I'm going to ask you: Are you saying you want to do a 180 on your business and totally change the way that you operate?
Right.
Because what you're doing to me isn't an add to. Like, if I'm a top producer, I'm doing my 100, 200 units a year. I can afford to
this is Rainmaker.
I can afford to hire you and pay you.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, I want to get 100 people onto my next free first-time home buyer virtual masterclass. Mm-hmm. Hey, I want you to generate 100 leads of people who just want a HELOC or people who just want to do a VA IRRRL. Right? This is definitely something I could do, but for most LOs, like, that's not their business model, and they don't have the 6 months runway.
Yeah.
Nor do they have a U in their back pocket, nor do they have the $18,000 that they're willing to invest in it.
Agreed.
But so then I'm really asking, what should the traditional originator or realtor, someone who's trying to just go out, be their local community expert, they want to be the source of information for the 5 or 7 zip codes that they service, and they want to self-generate 30 leads. They want to fund 5 to 6 loans.
All right.
And when that's working, they want to generate 60 leads so they can close 10 loans a month, right? Like, most originators, when I pull the Redder data, they're not there yet.
Right.
And that's really what I'm
and that's why, so to cap that is, there's a pretty boost button front and center on every one of your posts for a reason. And it's only because the platform wants to collect your money. Okay. There's not an easy way to do it. Moral of the story. There's not an easy way to do it. Ad manager, agency.
Can I give them the easy way?
Well, the easy way.
We coach it. We coach it at TLOP's Originator coaching day in, day out. It's what works.
Yeah. And the problem is there is no easy way on social media. You can post, you said to be your local expert.
Yeah.
Cool. Do it once a week. Do it once a week. You don't need to post every day. Post something once a week with some meaningful piece of content, preferably an organic video that we're not boosting, and keep it factual because Reels continue to have the most reach. Graphics are suppressed. That's 101.
Yeah.
So,
and I would say to post daily. That's what we coach. We coach it. The shirt you're wearing is what we coach.
Yep.
But it's an hour a day.
Right.
Of your 8 to 9 hours, 1 hour a day. And you're not there as a content creator. You're there as a networker.
Exactly.
So you're not posting the best post. You're doing the best post that you can generate in 15, 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then you're engaging in your target audience, which in this case are your clients and your customers, in their content. Mm-hmm. And you're expanding your network by sending out friend requests. And you're sending DMs because you want to engage in conversations. And you're ultimately using that platform to just schedule appointments so that you can go do what you and I were trying to get around for the past 30 minutes. Go shake a fucking hand.
That's where I'm at with it.
Go shake a fucking hand.
Yes.
That's how you generate more business.
Absolutely.
Go have another conversation. Teach another class. Call a past client.
Yeah.
Reach out to someone that you know but you haven't heard from in a while and ask them how you can serve them and when you can meet next, because you're looking for ways to expand your business while helping others expand their business.
Right.
Social media is amazing when you look at it through the lens of a networker.
And I get it and I get what we teach is, go on, post once a day, spend an hour a day on your social media. I get it. I think I'm speaking more to the new LO. When you're fresh, when you're raw, go shake a hand. Like I'm on the same page.
Oh, the slap dicks.
Yes,
You're talking to the slap dicks out there.
I'm about the slap dicks. It's time that you get out and you go shake some hands, because social media alone is not going to get you the attention that you need to build the relationships for you to fund more than 4 loans
Exposure.
a month.
It gives you exposure. It makes that call easier when the person feels like they already know you.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it easier when you've already been connected for 3 weeks, engaging in their content, liking their post, and commenting on their posts, so that when you do reach out, it's not stranger danger.
It supports the physical outreach.
Yes.
It really does.
Yes. Okay. So that was yours.
That's one of mine, yeah.
Okay. You and I are going to end this with the Tech Bros.
Okay.
With the Vibe Code Bros.
Yeah, so now we'll go non-QM.
Yeah, look, and you spent a lot of time on social media, which I'm happy. It's rare that I sat that quiet for that long.
Yeah.
But I did it.
Yeah.
They were taking 650 plus episodes, but I did it.
Right.
My issue right now, and I've had this issue for a while. I love non-QM. Right? At the end of the day, y'all, you're running a branch, non-QM loans, profitable.
Mm-hmm.
Right? LOs, non-QM loans, profitable. You're a lender, non-QM loans, profitable. I'm talking bank statement. I'm talking DSCR.
Yeah.
When I pull the data, again, this can be Ingenious data, this can be Redder data, it can be model match data, it can be Cotality data, it can be MMI1 data. When I pull the data, when I talk to the experts, they will tell us non-QM lending. This is including HELOC and ground up new construction. 20% of the market. It's 20% of the market. I was at a mortgage conference. By the way, I love my non-QM lenders. They're great partners.
Yep.
But I'm baffled. There were 60 exhibitors. 50 were non-QM lenders. 50.
That's wild.
It's 20% of the market.
That is wild.
50. Like, I just don't understand where there's going to be enough to go around. And I know in certain markets, down in Miami, out in California, which are 2 huge markets, it's, gig economy, more self-employed borrowers. Obviously, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac making condo financing more difficult is going to drive more non-QM lending. It will. But at the end of the day, we're still talking about 20% of the market. Somehow it's 80% of the vendors that are at certain conferences, and a lot of loan originators, and honestly, newer loan originators, scared loan originators, those that don't feel like they have it to compete on the main stage, so they want to look for the Ozempic shot. They're like, now I'm going to go non-QM. I'm an expert in non-QM. And not everyone can be an expert in non-QM. We'll start there.
Right.
But at the end of the day, why am I going to want to spend 80% of my time, effort, energy, and money chasing 20% of the market? To me, non-QM should be 20% of your business. If it's 20% of the market, like if you're not doing any HELOCs, I'm worried. If you're not doing any bank statement loans or any DSCR loans, I'm worried.
Yeah.
But I just get my booty chapped when somebody wants to make it like all about non-QM. And it's like, no, it is one of the quivers, right, in your arrow. That's what non-QM is to me. I'm curious to see where the industry goes.
Well, you don't
Comment
need,
below. You can hate on me all you want for saying this. People have been hating on me.
You're going to get some haters.
Thinking I hate on non-QM. I don't hate on non-QM.
You're a hater.
I'm telling you, I love it, but I don't love it when an LO is trying to make it 80% of their business.
But that's why I asked you, so off air, like, you don't need to be licensed for non-QM, right? Technically, on some DSCR products, like, you just have to have an LLC.
Okay. When you're doing a non-residential loan, you don't have to be licensed.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
So for investment
don't
properties,
get it mixed up. Don't get it mixed up.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like a non-QM loan, if it's still your primary home, I have to be licensed. A non-QM loan that I'm doing the loan in your personal name, I have to be licensed.
Yeah.
It's when I'm doing a loan for your business. So don't confuse.
So if my business is purchasing my primary.
Loan officers, if 2026 is going to be your breakout year, this matters. Most originators don't struggle because of rates. They struggle because they don't have systems, structure, or accountability. I'm Coach Christy with TLOP's Originator Coaching. Originator Launch is a 16-week small group coaching program designed to help you build a real business, not just close the next loan. You'll get weekly live coaching, proven scripts used by top producers, real accountability, homework that actually moves the needle, and 2 private one-on-one calls with your coach. This program is capped at just 10 originators, so the attention is personal and the results are real. This isn't a course you watch. It's coaching you execute. If you're ready to stop guessing and start building with intention, apply now. Spots are limited, and once they're gone, enrollment closes. Register today.
I don't know why your business would purchase your primary.
I'm just saying.
Because your businesses can't own primary homes.
But if it's a home owned by the business that I'm going to use as my primary.
Well, I don't know. You're sounding like every person who should be locked up by the FBI who likes to commit mortgage fraud right now.
Can you not say
That's
IRS or
like.
FBI on this episode, please?
Like, no. No, Mike, if you were going to go buy an investment property and you didn't want to buy it in Mike Siciliano's name.
Yeah.
You wanted to buy it.
I'd have it in my LLC.
In Sicily's the greatest country ever LLC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
You could do a DSCR loan to purchase that.
Right.
And yes, that originator technically would not have to have a license to do that loan.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like, so yes, but it's when a business is buying a property.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't think about a business ever buying a primary home. Lenders will not lend on a primary home to a business.
You just don't got to tell them.
Yeah.
I'm
FBI.
kidding. I'm
Woo,
kidding. I'm
Let's
kidding.
go. Yeah. Let's go. Got CSI. Orlando.
Karina, what do you have to say about
coming
this?
in here. Holy cow.
I'm just
So no, I just, and honestly, it's people who think like that. Like why are we cutting corners?
Yeah.
Like what, I mean, there's a lot of ways to make honest money in this world. We don't need to go cutting corners.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's the originator who, look, I get it. If you want to love bank statement loans, you work for a company, you have access to a great bank statement loan product, you want to target CPAs, you want to market to self-employed people, and 25% of your business is bank statement, awesome. I think that's great. But I said 25%. That means 80% of your effort, your time, your energy, your money, your resources can't go to that 25%.
Right.
We coach and teach ROE as much as we teach ROI. What's your return on energy versus your return on investment? We teach ROT as much as ROI. What's your return on time? How much time is that loan taking you? How much energy is that client sucking from you? Let alone like how much money you investing. Not all people invest in their business the way they should. But yes, I just kind of have this overarching like, and by the way, and here's why it bothers me. Because I allow it. If you're my therapist, you would say because you allow it to bother you, dude.
Right.
But why it bothers me is I care about people. I care about people's future success. It's no different than having Karina for you. It's like a little sister or a niece, or Mike, it's like one of your kids. You're like, dude, I've been in kindergarten before. Like I'm going to tell you straight, you don't do that.
Right.
You don't do that. That's not what works.
Yep.
Right. If you keep on doing that, then that's how you don't get good grades. That's how you get, bad behavior reports, whatever the case may be. Karina talking to her 13-year-old niece is like, girlfriend, come here. I was once you just like a decade ago. Let me help you out a little bit. This is me saying, y'all, I don't get to talk to just you. I talk to thousands of you every month, newly licensed, future of the mortgage industry, the people that I look forward to shaping and helping them have the same success or better success than I had. And you all are saying and sounding the same. Oh, dog, I'm going to go after non-QM. Why? It's 20% of the market at best. And that's when I'm including HELOC and ground up.
Yeah.
If I just look at it as like DSCR and bank statement, it's like, and anymore, it's no longer like the niche thing to do. Now it's the survival mode thing to do. If you want to survive and be successful, like I look at Mike Smalley. I use him as one of my dearest friends, ex-business partner, and one of the best mortgage originators I personally know. Intimately, like know him pretty well. I think he'll do close to 80, 90 million this year. And I promise you 18 million of that will be non-QM.
Yeah.
20%.
Yep.
20%. And I can go through names. I can just start picking off top producers. Brian Kimball, Gwen Swain. I can go through their business. I mean, I bet Brian and Gwen, not even 10%.
But they're not targeting non-QM
They are targeting
sources.
They're targeting where can they make the most money,
Yeah.
working 40, 50 hours a week. That is scalable, predictable, doesn't suck their time, doesn't suck their energy.
So they're building partnerships, right?
Yeah,
they're building partnerships with realtors that are dealing with investors.
They market.
Yeah.
No, dealing with investors. No.
Dealing with that have investor clients.
Investors make up 1/3 of the market. Brian
Yeah.
and Gwen and Mike Smalley are not chasing after a bunch of investors.
Right.
They're chasing after men and women looking to buy their first house. You want to know why? 45% of every new transaction is a first-time home buyer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're looking for men and women who are moving up. Why? Because that's another
So
30%.
the self-employed just happens to come in as part of that.
The
pool.
self-employed
The
just
20%.
happens to be someone who has a house to sell and wants to buy one. Right? The self-employed happens to be the couples whose kids just went off to college and now they want to sell the big house and move downtown into maybe the cottage or the villa because they're downsizing. Yeah, the self-employed may be a first-time home buyer who's 38 or 42 years old. They've done their own business for 7 years. And it's a heavy cash business, but their tax returns don't show them making a lot of money.
Yeah, so they have to do bank statement loans.
Yes, they end up doing a bank statement loan.
Yeah.
Right? Or sometimes it's like, no, I'm buying a $1.5 million house. That's technically non-QM. It's outside of the conforming loan size.
Yeah.
Or, I'm doing asset depletion, or there's so many different underwriting things that make it non-QM. What I'm just getting at is it makes up best case right now 20%, yet it's sometimes for some people all they want to talk about and all they want to focus on. And I study top producers for a living.
Yeah.
Top producers aren't thinking nor acting that way. So it's like, why do you want to swim up current versus swim downstream? Like there's no need to, and you're not that different. You're not that special, and you're not the only slapdick out there that thinks that they're going to outthink everyone else and go do something that no one else is doing. No, every other low producer is trying to focus on just doing that. And by the way, I'm being mean. I'm not trying to be mean. It's a little bit of tough love. Mike kind of annoyed me today at lunch, and I'm carrying it through to the podcast episode. But let me be more real and more honest about where I'm trying to get at here. And I'll put a bow on it so we can talk about the next thing that's firing us up. The next one's firing both of us up. But when I look at it, I'm coming from a place of love because I care. And I'm not going to deny that there aren't outliers out there. I know one person. His name is Adam Corrigan. And there's several handfuls of Adam Corrigans out there. Your brother-in-law, right, is one of them.
Yep.
But if I put 1,000 loan originators in a room, and the one qualifiers, they make $250,000+ in personal income a year. Of that 1,000, I'd be able to pull out 15 that do consumer direct. That's their business model. I'd be able to pick out 15 that only do non-QM. And then that's going to leave 970 that their business looks like the market. The market is purchase focused, realtor, past client, circle of influence, home builder, financial advisor, CPA referred, and the volume that's being originated is conventional FHA, VA.
Yep.
And then at the bottom, everything else.
Right.
Everything else. HELOC, bank statement, asset depletion, I-10, renovation, DSCR. Like I can keep going on and on and on. He kept going. The dude wouldn't shut the F up, right? Like I can keep going on and on about it. So anyhow, my word of advice, your business should look like the business that's to be had. I'm not saying you can't say, I love working with investors. Awesome. Make it 20% of your business. I love working with custom home builders. Awesome. Make it 20 to 30% of your business. I love bank statement loans and partnering with self-employed people and CPAs. Awesome. Make it 1/3 of your business. Like that is totally cool. Our coach, Gwen Swain, she lives in Idaho. She loves their first-time home buyer product. It's a profitable product. It's an easy product to originate. She does a lot of that. If you pulled her Redder data, I bet it's 1/3 of her business. If not 40%, is probably coming from Idaho housing, right? It's not that you can't have a certain product that you lean hard into. I'm just saying in general, be very careful when you're trying to lean too hard in certain products, especially non-QM.
Yeah. And it's the same with social media, though. It's like a little bit it works for some people. It can work for some people, right?
Outliers.
Outliers.
Malcolm Gladwell will write a book about you. It's called Outliers.
Right.
You'll be an outlier. Awesome. We'll put you on the show. We'll parade you around. We'll let you speak at the next conference.
So don't get distracted by they saved 8 to 12% of their income every single year. They worked until they were 62. Did you read the book, Millionaire Next
Yes.
Door? Okay, I was like, you're like reciting the whole thing right now.
Then one day they wake up and they're worth $3 million with no debt. Mm-hmm. Like, it's amazing how that happens. It's boring AF.
Yep. Agreed.
So, all right, let's get into the last one.
Okay, the last one's the best one, in my opinion. It's just, it's crazy.
Fiery. I don't think they've ever seen me this fiery.
No. And this one's,
this is like
you're going to see you pretty fiery.
This is like someone cut me off the craps table.
It took you a minute, though. It took you a minute. You were bringing products to me.
Yes.
For a while.
Oh, I'm saying they haven't seen me this fired up before. That's what I was getting at. You'll see me this like fiery if someone ever says, "You're not allowed to roll dice anymore, Mr. Owen."
Oh my God.
I heard a funny story about you.
You've had too much to drink.
Yeah.
I'm zooming in.
You've lost too much money.
I'm zooming in at that point.
What?
You don't see him
where he was flexing
moving
with
his
what?
titties.
Yeah.
You're
You were
moving
flexing your
titties.
pecs.
No, I was I?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yes,
didn't.
you were.
I
You
didn't know
That
I
notice?
was
did.
awesome.
No.
That was awesome.
No, I was.
You'll zoom in on
With
that,
what you were
right?
saying.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Oh my gosh.
That was good. So,
Was it?
yeah.
What was I doing?
You were flexing
You were
your pecs. They
flexing
were
your
like 1, 2, 1,
titties
2.
With what you were saying. I'm going to zoom in.
That's awesome. So those of you on Spotify, switch over to YouTube real quick.
Oh my God. No, seriously.
I love the fact that Karina says I have titties.
I don't know what to call them for guys.
Is that what
Pecs?
you call them?
Pecs,
Pecs, I
chest,
guess.
pectoral
You're-
muscles.
I've said titties once. My mom got mad.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's funny. We didn't say titties at all growing up. It was like a bad word.
Yeah,
in my
that's
house.
right. Mine too.
But my parents' best friend, Jane Jory, like growing up, and they had like kids a little bit younger than my sister and me.
yeah,
And in their household, they called all boobs titties.
that's so funny.
And I remember being over there.
Say
I'm like,
pectoral.
and I'm like probably 7, and their kids are like 4 and 2, and they're just like, yeah, titty this and titty that, and I'm like,
Oh, wow. It's a
Here's
bad
the soap. Wash your mouth out, please.
correct. No one's getting in trouble.
Yeah.
That's
but,
funny.
Hey, comment below. Was titty a bad word?
You should. That's good. That's good.
Oh,
Drop
rabbit
a
hole,
comment.
rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I think when I was bouncing my titties, Karina,
Yeah.
I was
Level 10,
channeling
rabbit hole.
I was channeling the frustration and anger that I've once
Okay.
felt
Makes
when a pit boss told me I wasn't allowed to roll dice anymore at their establishment.
Yep.
Or maybe my wife has come up to me and said, "Hey, I think you're kind of done. You should take those chips and come back to the room." And I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
"No, are you telling me?" And you're like, "It's like you're taking my ball away.
Yeah.
You're telling me I can't have fun anymore."
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
that's the last time you would have seen me that fired up.
Right.
Was if you were with me at that craps table.
And
but these topics are getting me fired.
You're fired up. I know.
Yeah, making my titties
You're
bounce.
never,
and everything.
you're never fired up on this show, so I love it.
Oh my
Am I
new
not fired up
DO.
on the show? Am I usually like the calm,
Yeah.
like chipper, happy guy?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think I've called people slap dicks today.
These are sensitive
Yeah,
topics,
and then you were like,
though.
go shake a fucking hand. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
It is what it
Hey.
is.
Yeah.
You can
get
put
to-
the boop in. Boop.
Nah.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, you don't need to. Not after 650 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, I like
They don't
to tell
teach this
people,
shit in school.
Yeah, like if you don't like this episode,
Right.
cool. We have 649 others.
Right.
Right.
I'm pretty sure, like, don't judge me on like the one song I sang.
Yeah.
Please judge us on the entire catalog.
Right.
Right.
But this is good. I think a lot of people will like this
Yeah.
one song. It's a little polarizing.
All right. Can we talk about
Vibe coding.
Yeah. So you were going to tell the audience that because I'm such a nice guy, because I care so much, because I once had someone tell me, you talk about yourself way too much.
Yeah, that's how we got here.
My comeback was, well, because I know myself better than most other topics.
Yeah, there
Like,
you go.
you should know yourself better than most other topics. It's pretty easy to talk about how I think and how I feel and what I've
Yep.
experienced because it is what I know the best.
Right.
However, I'll take your advice and stop talking about myself. However, you are going to explain that in the beginning,
In the beginning.
5-6 months ago,
Right.
a year ago,
Even a year ago, yeah.
I was annoying you because what was I doing to you?
Sending me a lot of vibe coded projects that people in our network are developing.
Yes.
I think it took you a little while to catch up on the fact that building SaaS products really isn't a specialized skill anymore. And it's insane. I told you I have my buddy, a back-end developer, like a full stack developer. That's database, front end. That's like the whole.
Like this is what he's been dedicating his life to the past 15 years.
Yeah, he's making $150,000. I mean, decent base salary plus bonuses and incentives, and this is what he built his career.
Has a
around.
legit degree,
computer science, you name it, and he's going to be out of work in another year, and he didn't believe that a year ago, even when we were having conversations.
Yes, I remember that.
And now he's seeing it firsthand. Vibe coding. What we mean by vibe coding is there's a lot of third-party tools out there like Base 44 or Lovable, where
Claude Code,
where a guy
Chats
is Codex. Okay,
yeah.
But even Claude Code and Codex don't have a great like front-end UI. There's a little bit of skill still needed on those
UI
platforms.
stands for
user interface.
Thank you.
So
I knew that because you've taught me, but the audience doesn't know.
Right. So if you want that UI, that user interface where, literally my dad, 65-year-old Italian sales guy, like
tatted up,
muscled
up.
Yeah, like he can go on there and figure it out. So that's how easy these platforms are to use now. And they've accelerated in kind of the quality and performance of the toolbox, in that they can pass penetration tests now. We talked about pen tests, and that's like security holes in these applications, and they can pass the pen tests. However, if you have sensitive user data, I don't recommend it. I would not.
They can't get their SOC 2.
Yeah, you can't. You're risking some sort of breach in the future, and you're exposed. You really are exposed. But the only way that I would recommend using any sort of kind of vibe coded toolbox like this would be for an internal project.
Internal use only.
Internal use. Like, you have an idea, you say, hey, this would really help my workflow. And you put it into practice, you write the prompts, you build it, and you launch it internally.
Yeah, I have all this data. I would love a place to store it, analyze it, and then use the data to better run my business.
Yep.
Instead of this taking me 8 weeks, it's going to take me 8 hours.
Right.
And I'm going to work internally for internal use only to do it.
But if you plan on building a product that to sell and take it to market, and it is so saturated now, the barrier to entry is very low in building SaaS products. That stands for software as a service, SaaS. So the barrier to entry is so low now. I mean, you're talking high competition.
Yeah, so here's been my issue. I'm not a tech guy. Many people think I am because I love technology. I do. Yeah. I love to have a team that leverages technology to make sure that we are always one step ahead of the curve. That's what I love. Dustin Owen struggles. True story. I just had to do this to my car and my wife's car. I struggle reprogramming my garage door opener to my car.
Oof.
Then I live in this little gated community. Nothing super fancy, so don't be like, oh, Dio's highfalutin. I live in a nice house, but definitely not $1 million house. But I do have a gate in the community. Maybe it speaks more to the city I live in than it does the neighborhood that I chose. I don't know. But I struggled with that. Like, that was an hour-long project. And my big win is I didn't throw anything, and I only dropped 3 F-bombs.
Nice.
So one, I loathe tech demos.
Yeah.
I love relationships, and I love looking out for my people. So when my people reach out to me like, hey, Dio, check out this technology, I'm like, I'd love to, but please know I have no desire to demo it. Right. If you're lucky, if I like it, maybe I can get it to one of my coaches, and my coaches will demo it. Or I would push it to Mike and say, hey, Mike, look at this. And this is where Mike got frustrated with me. He's like, Dio, I'm effing done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done. This is not quality workmanship. This is literally my dad, who, by the way, Mike's dad is one of the best salesmen you'll ever meet.
Oh, 100%.
That dude uses no social media. He uses no apps. He uses no technology.
Boots on the ground.
It's literally Mike Sr. in his muscle shirt, tatted up, knocking on doors, smiling, shaking hands, and making deals.
Yeah.
And the dude 3X's and 5X's businesses in a matter of months, not years.
Insane.
Right? So, like, we always look at Mike Sr. as, if more LOs could be like this 65-year-old grown-ass man from New York, y'all would be crushing
Go knock
it,
on some doors.
but you're not willing to do the tough guy work,
Yeah.
which is the easiest work to do.
Yeah.
Like keep it simple, stupid. So nonetheless, I shoot technology to Mike, and he's just like, bro, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And at my end, I'm like, look, I'm not a tech guy. Also, I love these people. I care about them. I want to look out for them. I want to give them some feedback. But then finally, I'm at a point now where I too am frustrated. So I just read an article. It sounds just like your buddy's predicament.
Yeah.
Right now, college students are returning to university.
Yeah.
Okay. My daughter has already enrolled. My son starts on Monday.
Yep.
I have a senior-ish and I have a freshman-ish.
Yep.
It's funny. My son's a senior, but he's actually going to graduate a semester late on purpose.
Nice. That's
because
what I
he's
did.
hardcore into football.
Very
He
cool.
wants to stay for one more football season. It gives him more work experience.
Soak it in, dude.
Well,
Like,
it's
yeah.
not even like I want to party. It's because he works.
No, I'm just saying.
He works inside of the football program.
Yeah.
He wants a career in athletics after college. And it's like that's one more season of him getting hands-on experience,
100%.
making more contacts, etc. But my daughter, because she's an overachiever like her mom, she's going to finish her freshman year at FSU and actually have enough credit hours to be a junior.
Yeah, that's
Right.
awesome.
So
that's huge.
yeah. So I said freshman-ish, senior-ish, right?
Yeah.
But that's what's happening right now. Kids are returning to college. Just read an article. I don't know if it was New York Times or Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, one of those publications. And it says the number one major that kids are dropping right now to switch into something different is computer science.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's computer science.
Yep.
Right. So it's like, okay, I'll call myself this. I'm a slapdick when it comes to technology. All that means is I'm inexperienced. All that means is I'm not knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm a dum-dum. Doesn't mean that I couldn't one day be great at it. It just means I'm a newbie, right? We have a term here at TLOP. We call them slapdicks. It's just something funny John Coleman came up with years and years ago, and internally we use it. It's a term of endearment more than it is a put down or some kind of a negative thing to be called. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I'm a slapdick when it comes to technology, but if vibe coding, Lovable and
Base
and
44
Codex,
and
Base
Code,
44 and Claude Code is making it easy for people like me to go and write code and create the next app, the next website, the next SaaS product. What's it doing for the Mike Sicilianos? What's it doing for what's your buddy's name? His first name?
Ben.
What's it doing for Ben?
Yep.
Like even my son who took AP Computer Science in high school, he's already 3 legs up over anyone in his field only because he has a coding background.
Right.
Okay, so then it's just like if it's going to make it easier for the people who are already super smart, who aren't already slapdicks, who know how to do this, but it's also going to make it easy for me and everybody else to do it. Here's what I'm seeing, guys and girls. You right now, and I'm going to burst some bubbles. You're staying up late at night on a Friday, spending all day Sunday, and you're just geeking out. And I love that for you. I do. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it excites you. I hope it exercises your brain and challenges you in every good way. And I hope you recognize that you're doing this for you. It's just what you said, for your business.
Yep.
Because you know what? There are 3 of you at every mortgage company in the United States of America. And let's just say there's 500, which I know there's over 1,000. Let's just say there's 500 mortgage companies. And there's 3. I think there could be 30 in some companies. Hell, across country could be 300 of you.
Yeah.
Right? But let's just say it's 3 and let's say it's 500 because collectively that's 1,500 people.
Right.
And you all are making, for the most part, pretty similar products.
Yeah.
Pretty similar. So 5 of you can make it. 5 of you. Let's call it 10. Screw it. Let's saturate the market and say 20. 20 of you out of 1,500. And I think I'm being super nice. So, and then by the way, when you're doing that, Rocket, who has all the money in the world, CCM, who has all the resources in the world, and Supreme Lending and CMG and Movement Mortgage, like they're all doing it as well as the wholesalers who want the brokers into the business. So you're not just competing against those 1,500 people trying to be the 10 or the 15 that make it out. So just do us all a favor.
Stop.
No, don't stop vibe coding. Stop vibe coding for us. Vibe code for you.
Right. But the point is,
if you're a licensed originator who's closing loans, but you're not consistent, this is for you. If you're brand new or just looking for motivation, trust me, this is not for you. Most LOs don't need more information. They need structure. They need proven processes and somebody to hold them accountable. TLOP's Originator Coaching gives you weekly live coaching, scripts top producers actually use, and step-by-step business systems you can implement immediately. Not someday, we're talking day one. You're not watching videos alone. You're executing in real time with other originators who take this seriously. Right now, you can try it free for 2 weeks. That's 2 full weeks for free. You'll sit in on live coaching calls. You'll get access to the frameworks and see exactly how top producers run their business. If it creates clarity, if it creates momentum, or even if it puts wins on the board, you keep going. If it doesn't, no worries, you can cancel. No pressure at all. Click the link, start the 2-week trial, and finally, build this like a business, not a side hustle.
Don't be distracted again. Like, we're talking about distractions. It's cool if it's a passion project and you can make the time to vibe code something that maybe you even do want to take it to market. Maybe you're not even going to use it internally. You maybe you do take it to market. Like, it's still a distraction. Don't waste too much time on it.
And by the way, we have friends right now that are doing their projects, and I don't want them to tune into this and be like, "Wow, Dio's
he's a hater.
He's really talking."
No, it's
to me.
just
I'm
Mike
not.
that's the hater.
Well, no,
No,
but I'm
kidding.
not. I mean, this is tough love. I love you dearly.
Yeah.
Like I'll throw our buddy Sean out there.
Okay.
Like, here's what I love about Sean, because Sean vibe coded his. Yeah. However, he then went and got the Microsoft engineer.
Oh, right.
Right, and he is actually working on his SOC 2.
For compliance, yeah, they're working hard on that.
Yeah. So guess what? Like, if I said 15 of you out of 1,500 are going to make it out, you better believe that I am pulling for Sean.
Absolutely.
And you better believe I'm going to help promote his product once it's viable.
Yeah.
Right? Once that product is viable, I'd 100% help him promote it. And you know what I love about Sean? Sean works for one of the top lenders in the country. Mm-hmm. So at a minimum, you know what Sean has? A built-in customer.
Yeah.
He has a built-in customer. If Sean can win that race and get his most valuable product, MVP, in front of his employer before anybody else, he may be able to get his employer to pay him some money for that, whether it's a license, whether they buy it outright, and Sean and his partners can get a cash windfall.
Yeah.
Right? So I want Sean to win. Or, Mark Jones has his product, and I know Mark started his product before vibe coding was a thing, and Tanner Floyd has his product, and I love Tanner's product. Like, Mabel's is legit. It really solves for something I think originators need. But the downfall for a Tanner is I'm sure people are gonna look at his product and be like, I can do that.
Well, and that's what I do, and that's the problem. Is I've seen a lot of these products, and what's the first thing I told you? Dio, low barrier to entry, man. Give me 48 hours if this is something. It's too easy to reproduce now, but on the compliance side, like if you need to integrate, like if it's a whole LOS package and you need to integrate and you need compliance, that's a bit different. There's some more hoops to jump through to make something like that. But moral of the story for me on this one was, spinning your wheels. It's another distraction that's going to take an LO. It's going to make them not able to go from 4 units a month to 6 to 8.
Correct.
It's another distraction.
Thank you. So I gave this presentation 3 years ago.
Yep.
And it was becoming a next-gen originator.
Yeah.
And I still feel strongly about what I said 3 years ago. When it comes to technology, be a fast follower and an early adopter. The innovators get just absolutely waylaid, knocked out. They go bankrupt. They lose millions of dollars of their own money and other people's money. We talk about the innovators that make it because what are they? Outliers.
Yeah.
They're outliers. The rest we don't talk about because they're broke jokes who themselves lost a fortune and lost a fortune of other people's money. You be a great loan officer. Be a great mortgage company owner. Be a great divisional executive.
Yeah.
And yes, you should be leveraging and learning AI the same way you should be hiring assistants and scaling your team. And your team anymore can be an agentic agent.
Right.
100%.
Agentic agents,
Shane
VAs,
Kidwell is teaching and coaching us how to do that right now.
Yep.
I'm not saying don't build your team, and I'm not saying don't have a robust team, and I'm not saying your team can't be an agentic agent. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be great leveraging AI. and knowing the difference between the 4 different clauses and the 4 different chats and use this one for that and this one for this. And yes, you should know all that. But vibe coding to create a SaaS product that you think you're going to sell, when at the end of the day, your business is mortgage, your business is not SaaS. Nah, dog. Create that for you.
Right.
And if you end up becoming one of the outliers, I hope it's one of my friends because I'm cheering you on and I'm here to support you as much as I can.
Yep.
But like, I'll end it on this because it keeps on like, there's just examples every week, almost every day at this standpoint. I had lunch with one of my closest friends, awesome mortgage guy, right? And he likes to think big and dream big, and I'd love to be a part of his success. But he started saying some things. I'm like, whoa, pump your brakes. Like, oh no, I'm going to have 3 different entities all rolling up to one parent. This one's the SaaS. This one does commercial lending, and this one does residential rent. I'm like, whoa. I go, can we just focus on making $4 million a year in residential lending?
Yeah.
Can we just focus on that? I go, any SaaS product you're going to develop. By the way, he's not a developer. I went to high school with the guy. He's not a developer.
Right.
Okay. He loves it. He loves to dabble. I said, make that product so that maybe the company you own saves $1 million because you're not paying a third party
Absolutely.
for 100 or 200 seats.
Yep.
And you've been able to build something internally. So now you're making not making $4 million a year, making $5 million a year because you cut your expenses by $1 million.
Yep.
I said, but for you to think that you're going to create something, I said again, what makes you think if there's 3 of you at every company, there's 500 companies, that's 15,000 companies. Or 1,500, I'm sorry. I said 1,000 earlier.
Yeah, 1,500.
It's 1,500 companies.
Yep.
And 15 of you are actually going to make a product that the market loves, that actually sells, that actually has a market value. And I'm like, what makes you think that your background and your skill set and your resources and the time that you dedicated to this is going to put you in that 1%? No, by the way, what is that company when you sell it actually going to make you monetarily? Could it have just been easier to just be a effing great mortgage banker?
Right.
Like, just do that.
Right.
And I think that's really what Mike and I have been trying to do with today's super long episode, is encourage you all to narrow your focus, to circle back to the basics. Don't turn a blind eye to social media. Don't turn your back on non-QM lending. You sure as hell should not ignore AI. However, it's to what degree?
Right.
It's how much are you leaning into it? And like anything, too much of a good thing is not a good thing.
Yeah.
You need to lean in proportion to what your business dictates and allows.
Where's the balance from being productive to distraction, right? Like, where's the
Yes.
balance in these?
Yes. And what we're talking about is the 20%. But most of you are putting 100% of your focus in the 20%.
Yes.
And you're neglecting the 80%.
Yep.
The 80% is the tried and true. There's nothing new about it. It's boring AF, but it works AF. And that's what we want for you, because we care, because we want to see you better, because we are out trying to shape the future of mortgage lending. Y'all, I appreciate you letting us do this.
Yep.
Karina, that was long AF.
We're over an hour. But
No, we're
Holy
not.
shit. Oh,
No.
God, yes, we are.
we are over an hour.
Oh, yeah. My internal clock about 15 minutes ago, I was like, wah, wah.
Whoops. It's
Hey,
okay.
y'all, do this. This was as spicy as we've gotten. Let us know what you think. Blow up the comments on YouTube. Feel free to send me a message on LinkedIn. First name Dustin, last name Owen. Follow us over at Instagram at the Loan Officer Podcast. Blow up our DMs. We'd love to hear from you. I tend to not push the envelope this much, but we're just a little bit fired up. We're excited about 2027. We're excited about the future. And we're really excited about all the impact we are going to be able to have in this industry, helping people like you level up, fund more loans, make more money so you can save more money, so you can tithe more money, so you can leave this place better than you found it. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube. Give us a 5-star review if you're on Spotify or Apple. And if you're ever interested in being coached by me and my group of 5 coaches, we offer a free 14-day trial. All you have to do is go to our website, tloponline.com. That's TLOP online.com, and fill out your information. Click submit. My team will be in contact with you, more than likely Blake or Mark. They'll get you set up. We'll get you onboarded. you can come get a taste before you make that full commitment to invest in your future success. She's Special K. He's Marketing Mike. I'm Dio. You've just tuned into the Loan Officer Podcast. That's all the time we have for you today, but we do look forward to catching you on the next episode. Peace.